welcome to another episode of Songs from the Attic. And today we're going to be looking at the new Soft Cell album, Happiness Not Included. So my name's Sid, so hello, and welcome to Kirk.
Good evening. Well, I'm looking forward to, I was looking forward to this album. It's what, first thing I've got to say is, you know, when you, I always go back to when I was younger, when I was buying an album. So you, especially if I had to wait 20 years for an album, so I wouldn't wait that long. I would have been young then, I would have been old. But you looked forward to it, and you had your pocket money, and you could only buy so many albums. So I think the way people kind of review or maybe digest albums these days, it's a lot different, because they don't seem to me maybe as special, because I think you might listen to 5 albums in a week. Now, when would that pretty much have happened in your lifetime, you know, when you were younger?
It's very much that, isn't it? Because I mean, obviously from our days when we used to own record shops and stuff, it's massively different from the start to the very end of it all. As you see, everything's now just consumable, and you just go online and listen to the album, you know, and it's
I think it gets filed away in your library, doesn't it? You know, like at least when you had your records, you know, and you wouldn't have had that many.
Yeah.
You know, nobody had thousands when we were younger. You know what I mean? As I say,
well, I'll take it back there, because by the time when I opened the record shop when I was 18, I had about 4,000.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I never counted it.
I think that was literally every penny
I had a wardrobe full
on vinyl.
I had a wardrobe full. I don't know how. Yeah. I don't even know how many was there. So
sorry.
Just to say we're looking forward to this album, but people are listening to albums in a totally different way. I think, you know what, you're driving to work, listening to it. Well, it would have been on a cassette. You know, everything's kind of that much more sharper and easier to get a hold of. And in the same way, it might be as easy to get rid of if you don't really like it, you know, where you might not persevere as much. So this album, God, when I started listening to it, going through the happy, the first track, I thought, this is great. Where's this album going to go? And then it kind of bobbled about a bit. It was one of those where I didn't know if it'd have a theme. You know, I've read quite a few reviews online, and it doesn't. It's sort of saying things about lockdown, which, I mean, every single artist talks about lockdown, you know, because they're poor and they've got no money. So they've had to like make an album at home. But I just got this feeling it was a right mixed bag. It had no direction. Sadly, there was a few songs on it which we're going to go through that I did enjoy, but on the whole, I was quite disappointed by it. Really,
that's
I wanted to see it was going to be groundbreaking, but I thought his vocals were too up front. I didn't think Paul offered enough. There's just a few tracks that are outstanding that stand out on it, and about 3 out of the whole. Was it 12?
Well,
tracks?
What I want to say is listen to it again, because I've listened to it quite a few times now, and I really, really like it. Much more than the last one, I have to say. Even if it was 20 years ago, I really, really like the album. I've been listening to it whilst walking the dog, you know, as you do, and listening in the living room. And I really, really enjoy the album. I think there's an awful lot going on. I think it's odd because when we saw them in Leeds last year, but we don't want to go too much into how crap the bloody organisation was. And
oh, God.
Everybody getting in at ridiculous times. I mean, I missed the first song, which was Torch, and then caught them straight away. And I think they did Bruises on My Illusions, on All My Illusions, which I thought was excellent, and got straight into it.
Yeah, I'll put that as one of the outstanding songs.
They did a number of tracks from the gig, which I really enjoyed. It was a terrific gig, but honestly, the organisation was absolutely piss poor. But that's another story.
Leeds, you let us down tremendously.
7 o'clock. Who starts a gig at 7 o'clock? Well, you know.
Well, if you're queuing, you know, an hour before as well, you'd think they'd be able to get everybody in.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No, they were an absolute disgrace.
Yeah, it was. The organisation's terrible. Anyway, let's get back to the album. So you're right. I thought Happy was terrific. I think there is a theme, and I think the theme is reflection. there's loads of references to the past, loads. And I mean, I'm just looking at my notes here, and we've got stuff like there's loads of references to bowling in the 70s. There's inferences about Bowie and the sort of span, you know, the sort of like leather outfits. There's references in Polaroid where he talks about the meeting that they had with Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
And then they've sort of embellished it and made things up as if he met like Candy Darling and Lou Reed.
I know. When I was listening to that, there was things that when I listened to the album, and I know I will listen to it again, and I'll probably love it even more the more I do listen to it again. But you know, I've had about 5 listens, and it just seems like he'd come up with a word, and he'd have to find something to rhyme with it straight away. Now, I didn't think Soft Cell quite worked like that. You know, it was almost a bit predictable. You know, you'd see just certain words, like maybe nostalgia, and then he'd pick a word that kind of rhymed very closely with it instead of maybe making I didn't think the journey was there. I thought it was just, probably a little bit what you're saying, little snapshots of the past, but I think he's just maybe had a load of their songs and he's just randomly picked the best ones.
There's an argument that it could have been 10 songs. There's an argument that it should have just been 10 songs, but as I say, I really, really like it. I say Polaroid was okay, pretty decent song. I thought Bruises on My Illusions was excellent. Fun, reflective, dark. What I will say, and this might be controversial, I think it could have done with a Phil Manzanera type guitar on it on occasions, just whacking some power chords along.
Yeah, I would definitely say. I don't know. I was looking for the production.
Yeah.
And I just thought Bolt was as weak as his. It was so. Mark's vocals are so up front, and there's just nothing really behind. They're just a few of them lazy tunes. The single, one of the singles, Purple Zone. If you listen to the track, it's the Human League. It's just the Human League back. You know, might as well have said the Human League instead of the Pet Shop Boys, and you would have just said, "Oh, fair enough."
I mean, obviously, it was very Pet Shop Boys. It was very Pet Shop Boys, you know, but. Very. I like it. I like Purple Zone. I think they did that when we saw them as well. I think it's a very good song. It's just a very good pop song. I think it's a very good pop song. I think there's some terrific songs on it. I really do. I thought that was really nice. I like the fact that the Pet Shop Boys were on it as well, and obviously linking back to another classic duo. Hopefully next time it'll be Sparks. You know. I like Sleepers was good. Slow, lovely tune. I think Happiness Not Included is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that got me 5 out of 5. Absolutely the best song by a country mile on that album.
That could be like, it sounded like 1981. Again, I'm going to be controversial and say I would still, again, like that Phil Manzanera sort of Roxy type guitar on it, but that's not their thing. But I thought it was great. I've got 5-star song written down on it. I thought
that's what I've got. That's exactly how I've wrote it here. 5, and I've got my little star. I think if they had somebody else with them, you know, maybe help me. I could just see Mark. I can just see him with his hands on his cans, like singing away, and just and everybody just going, "Oh, that's so wonderful! Oh, you're so great! Oh, it just sounds like everything you've ever done before. It's wonderful." It needed more for me. It was too soft sell. It was too easy. And
what you think, like Soft Cell by Numbers?
It was definitely Numbers.
Great song.
Great. Come on, The Art of Falling Apart is my favorite album.
It
might well tells a story of the disaster, what was going on around him, and I just love it a bit. It sounds so great today.
It's hard to argue.
So it definitely
brilliant as well, of course.
I think
I really liked Nostalgia Machine, and I think that could easily be a really great single and a big hit.
Oh, the disco one.
Yeah, it's a very good disco song. You know, there's nothing wrong with a good disco song. I thought the woo bit was really catchy. I thought it was really excellent. I loved Nighthawks. It was proper classic Soft Cell sleaze. it's, sex dwarf territory. I thought, I think the phrase, I've got some of the words I wrote down. Was it, got it, shoot it, fuck it, lick it, love it. And I thought that was really funny. I laughed because I was waiting, where's the sleaze coming in? And there was a little bit of it. And then that sort of jumped in and I was sort of roaring laughing. It was dark. It was funny. It was great. Lovely set of chords on it. I loved also, I'm not a friend of God. The right wingers in America will obviously look at. He said, described him as not a fan, used the phrase callous behavior. I wrote the line down. God only shows his face when there's misery around. And I thought that was a great line. He's not going to win any friends in America with it, but
well, had he anyway,
I thought great, and I thought the last track was good, New Eden. I thought the one track that I would have maybe removed, and I would love to have seen Northern Lights on, because I think that's a great single. I would have probably removed Tranquilizer and put Northern Lights in its place, because I think Northern Lights is, which they released about 3-4 years ago, is one of the best pop singles I've heard in years. And
I did actually put a rating, and I got Tranquilizer 1. That's how much I thought of that song.
Wow.
That was not out of 10, by the way. That was out of 5.
So if we just put our rankings up on the screen for a second there. So the rankings on our screen for this album, for Happiness Not Included, and again, you can see them on the board there. Masterpieces, 5 stars. Magnificent, 4.5. Excellent, 4 stars. 3.5, very good. You can read the rest yourselves. 2.5, decent. 1.5, poor. 0.5, abysmal. Or we could easily put Trout Mask Replica at the bottom.
You love that. You're gonna get that in every time.
Okay. So Kirk, what are you going to be ranking this album as then, out of 5 stars?
Well, of course, I would have loved to have went 5, 4, 3. It's 2.5. I'm sorry. It was too easy for him to make. There wasn't enough on there, and it's going to be one of those that there's a few songs that I really did like, but the rest of the album, I think the album absolutely slides after Happiness Not Included. I think it goes off the edge of a cliff.
All right. Well, I'm different because I'm torn here. I'm torn between 3.5 and 4. I'm probably going to go 3.5 at the minute, but I would not be surprised in 2 or 3 weeks' time to give it 4 stars as an excellent album. I think it's a very good album, very, very good album, actually. And it has the chance to be an excellent album with a few more listens. I really like it. I think it's a lovely late nights maybe's album. There's a lot to it, I think it's a real nice stuff. It sounds obviously like Soft Cell. Mark's voice has clearly got older, but he's 65 this year. How the hell does Mark Almond be 65? How does Mark Almond be 65?
I do look, everybody, we are Soft Cell fans, and just I wanted more.
Okay, well,
I wanted, as you say, I don't think it was. There wasn't enough layers on there for me. It was a bit too basic, and I thought some of the lines were a bit too corny. I don't think he put enough into it myself.
Okay, well, it's all down to opinions. We're going to be interested to see what our viewers' comments are. If you can leave the comments below, that would be absolutely fantastic. Or, of course, get in touch with us on Twitter. Okay. Till the next time, take care, folks. Goodbye.